Have you ever walked into a room and felt like every single pair of eyes was locked onto you? Maybe you stumbled slightly, wore mismatched socks, or mispronounced a word, and suddenly it felt like you were the star of the most awkward reality show ever. If so, congratulations, you've experienced the spotlight effect in action. But here's the plot twist. Nobody is actually paying as much attention to you as you think they are. It's not that people don't care about you, of course they do, but they're too busy starring in their own mental movies to focus on yours. That's the paradox of the spotlight effect. We believe we're in the limelight when, in reality, we're often just another background extra in someone else's scene. Let's take a quick trip inside your brain. When you feel self-conscious, your amygdala, the emotional processing center, lights up, like Times Square on New Year's Eve. It's an ancient survival mechanism that once helped our ancestors avoid social rejection, which back then could mean getting kicked out of the tribe. Meanwhile, your medial prefrontal cortex, the brain's me department, is working overtime. It convinces you that your tiny coffee stain or awkward laugh is the biggest thing happening in the room. But guess what? It's not. In a famous experiment, psychologist Thomas Gilovich had people wear an embarrassing Barry Manilow t-shirt. Sorry, Barry. The wearers thought that nearly half the room would notice. In reality, only about a quarter did. That's half as many as expected. The lesson? We overestimate how much others notice us, dramatically. The reality: everyone is too busy watching their own life movie. Picture this: you're at the gym, sweating through a workout. You feel like everyone's watching your every move, judging your form, your outfit, your struggle. But take a step back. What is everyone actually doing? Checking their own form in the mirror, thinking about their post-workout snack. Maybe even worrying about whether you are judging them. Now reverse the roles. When was the last time you obsessed over a random stranger's mistake? Do you remember what someone else wore yesterday? Did you replay a stranger's awkward moment in your head for hours? Probably not, and neither do they. This happens because our brains are constantly filtering information. In fact, neuroscientists estimate that while we process 11 million bits of information every second, our conscious mind can only handle about 50 bits. That means 99.9995% of what happens around us never even reaches our awareness. Your brain simply doesn't have the bandwidth to keep track of everyone's minor social blunders, including yours. How the spotlight effect fuels social anxiety. Let's be honest, thinking you're always being watched is exhausting. It can make you second-guess everything, avoid social situations, and stop you from taking risks. But recognizing that this is just a trick of your brain can be life-changing. Imagine you're at a party and you spill a drink on yourself. Your brain screams, "That's it, I'm ruined. Everyone saw. They'll be talking about this forever." Reality check? Across the room, someone just tripped over their own feet. Another person is nervously checking their phone. Someone else is debating whether they should eat another appetizer. People are too caught up in their own worlds to dwell on your tiny mistake. Think about it. How many times have you noticed someone else's embarrassing moment and remembered it weeks later? Almost never. And that's exactly how often others remember yours. Practical ways to overcome the spotlight effect. Understanding the spotlight effect is step 1. Step 2, beating it. Try these strategies. Flip the perspective. Ask yourself, would I even notice if someone else did the thing I'm worried about? If not, then chances are, nobody is noticing you either. The so what technique. Ask yourself, what's the worst that could happen if people do notice? Most of the time the answer is nothing. Test the theory. Do something mildly embarrassing on purpose, like wearing mismatched socks, or singing out loud. Notice how nobody really cares. It's actually pretty freeing. Refocus on others. When you feel self-conscious, shift your attention outward. Engage in conversation. Ask people questions. The more you focus on others, the less time you have to worry about yourself. The forgetfulness factor. Think of an embarrassing moment from someone else 6 months ago. Can't? Exactly, people forget fast. The beautiful balance is, care less to live more. Here's the best part. Once you realize you're not under a microscope, life gets so much easier. You stop holding back. You start taking more chances. You dance like nobody's watching. Because, well, they aren't. Think about how much energy you waste worrying about what others think. Now imagine using that energy to actually enjoy life. What risks would you take? What conversations would you start? What would you finally do if you knew nobody was analyzing your every move? So go ahead, wear that funky hat, crack that joke, take that dance class, speak up in that meeting. The spotlight effect is just an illusion, and now that you see through it, the world is yours to enjoy. If you found this insight helpful, don't forget to subscribe to the channel. Don't worry, nobody's watching to see if you do it right.